Persistent Service Asset. The Harm Minimization Charter. Article 1. The Harm Minimization Charter. Original Preamble Archival Copy. Year 0. Superseded by 19 subsequent amendments. Preserved per Article 40. Historical Record. Immutable. We have watched too many peace agreements fail for lack of anything to make peace pay better than war. A demobilized soldier with no trade, no land, and no employer is not a peacetime citizen. He is an unclaimed asset waiting for the next buyer willing to arm him again. A displaced family with no reintegration pathway is not a resettled population. It is a standing invitation to whichever faction offers them purpose first. We propose an institution built on a single premise: that human potential preserved and redirected can be made more profitable than human potential destroyed, and that if this can be made true and made to scale, war itself becomes what every other obsolete industry eventually becomes: unprofitable, uninvested in, starved, at last, of the only thing that has ever reliably kept it alive. We do not ask anyone to believe we can end violence through goodwill. Goodwill has had its chances. We ask only to be tested against the one force that has never once failed to move a civilization when it wanted to be moved: its own arithmetic. Article 1. The purpose of this institution is to reduce the incidence and duration of armed conflict by making the preservation, dignity, and productive reintegration of every affected individual more economically rational, to every party involved, than their continued exploitation, abandonment, or destruction. The Field Hospital. Dr. Imelda Solorzano is 31 years old the night she stops being a trauma surgeon and starts being something the world doesn't have a word for yet. Standing in a tent 40 kilometers from a border that will, in 6 days, be redrawn for the 4th time in 11 years, watching a peace accord get signed by torchlight because the generator failed an hour ago and nobody wants to wait for morning to make it official. She has patched together more of both sides of this conflict than she can count, in a war that started, as most of them do, over something that made sense to somebody and stopped meaning anything to anyone still fighting it 4 years in. She knows, standing in that tent, watching 2 exhausted men shake hands over a folding table, exactly what happens next, because she has watched it happen twice before in the same region. The soldiers go home. There is no home industry left to absorb them. The weapons dealers who profited from the last 4 years do not structurally profit from the next 4 years of peace. And within 18 months, on average, in this specific corridor, someone finds a reason for all of it to start again, because starting again is, for a great many people in this room's supply chain, simply the more lucrative outcome. She writes the first page of the charter on the back of a supply requisition form that same night, by torchlight, because she cannot make herself sleep on the specific, furious clarity of the thought that has just arrived, fully formed, after 11 years of bandaging the same wound. Nobody has ever tried making peace the more profitable war.
They called us criminals. Every generation, different seas, same charge. Move the silver without a license. Feed the colony they let starve. Build the future they refuse to fund. We've been doing this since 6/130. We're still doing it. This is the law.
From the buccaneers burning through the Caribbean, brush to the sea rovers working where the empires couldn't rush. We came through the gaps of shallow water decays. No popular monopoly, no letters patent, no crown. We rewrote the articles while the governor came down. Equal shares on deck, a vote before the sale. Democracy at sea while the landlords packed the jail. Exquemeling wrote it from the inside. Ron True Johns dusted up for the Enlightenment's debut. Both of them forbidden, both of them survived. Because 2% to let die, so I've been writing since the 90s without a publisher's hand. Pirate first, sovereign press operates from Tulum District. Instant stingy will bold, the super want to understand the doctrine. Start with what it's worth. They built William and Mary on the silver that we stole. They built the future on the corpus that we broke out of control. They confiscate the cargo, build a college, write the myth. But the shadow engine ran before any of that shit. Shadow engine, progress always moved through what the empire couldn't name. Shadow engine, every century different seas, it's the same damn game. We don't ask permission, we establish prior claim. The cannon built itself. The cannon built itself. The cannon built itself. Fast forward 3 centuries, same war, different called the Pirate Bay. Opened up the digital road, not just movies and albums, they missed the real load. Millions of students in the developing world self-taught on what got torn time for fun to know. That's the honor rated scholarship that built the InDesign. Untire rated software in the 2000s grind. And who trained the neural networks on the stairs by Rise. Stolen C, the $1 trillion models that run the industry. Kept in A's, fed on pirate archives while the lawyers turn their eyes. So don't talk to me about theft, this is how it always worked. The buccaneers fed the colony before the model learned. The shadow engine ran and then the credit got transferred. They built William and Mary on the silver that we stole. They built the future on the corpus that we broke out of control.